So what will happen at the end of President Rivlin's consultations on Tuesday evening? Joining me to discuss is legal counsel for the Hallel-Likud Forum and Tirtzu, Ziv Maor, and Israeli journalist and attorney Ben-Dror Yemini on Zoom with us. Now, Ziv, I'm going to start with you, though. You've been confident in the past that the right-wing bloc will have it. Are you still confident?
I'm confident that this is no longer the case. Right now, my bet is on fifth election. I've been here in the elections night, and we've seen and we analyzed together the results of the exit polls. According to the results that the exit polls have given us, Ram was outside. Ram was not elected with its 5 representatives among the left-wing bloc. And where these were the results, this was a sure win for the right-wing bloc. Right now, when Ram is in, this is no longer the case. I am not seeing any way out of it apart from fifth elections, but I might be surprised after all.
All right, Ben-Dror, let's turn to you. I know that you have been reluctant to give me any sort of predictions. Are you still reluctant to give me predictions now that we're so close to either fifth elections or possibly a prime ministerial candidate?
Well, first, I don't know. I just do know that the left-center bloc should really thank Netanyahu, because as long as Netanyahu is not retiring, there will not be a right-wing government. So the only option to have a right-wing government, as Netanyahu called it, male male, full, I mean, only right-wing parties, it will be if Netanyahu himself will retire. In a minute, there will be a right-wing government. But it's not going to happen. And I do think that Lapid and others should thank Netanyahu for his staying in office. Now, what is going to happen? We don't know. I mean, for sure that we don't have to be so much impressed from the declarations that we hear from all sides. I mean, Smotrich and others. I mean, one of them is going not to keep his promise. Otherwise, yes, we will go to fifth election. And I do hope it will not happen. I guess most of us hope that it will not happen. We can see it in public polls and so on. So let's hope that something will happen in the next week, in the coming week. But we have no idea. Last night, there were many rumors that something is cooked between Naftali Bennett and Yair Lapid. Eventually, it's not clear what really happens there. I guess we will know today or tomorrow or the other day if something is really going on.
All right, now, as we've heard earlier, we heard both from Gideon Sa'ar and the New Hope Party and Yesh Atid's Yair Lapid party, or Yair Lapid's Yesh Atid party. They've both,
it's the same.
They've both expressed interest or willingness, rather, to sit with the right and even with the Likud, as long as Netanyahu is not there. Now, an interesting solution has popped up. Some of the Likud sources are saying that Netanyahu may instead drop out of the legislation and run for president to replace President Rivlin in the coming months when his term ends. Ziv, I'll start with you. Do you think he's likely to win, and do you think that that is likely to happen? Do you think that would be a good solution?
I think nothing should be defined likely. Now, let's explain to the viewers that Israel is a parliamentary democracy, and the position of the president is not similar in any way to the position of the president in places like the United States or France. The position that the president in Israel has got no authority, is a representative figure. He is supposed to be an individual which all the parties, all the parts of the society look up to and acknowledge. This is not the case with the past 3 presidents at least, but this is what it is supposed to be. Netanyahu going to the presidency is Netanyahu giving up on his position. Now, Ben-Dror just said that the left should thank Netanyahu because at the moment he steps away, then the left, then there will be a right-wing coalition. The issue is, and the reason for which people like Gideon Sa'ar are so insisting, even though he himself is a rightist, he's a conservative, he believes in those values, insisting that Netanyahu will go away, is the fact that there is a huge gap between the capabilities of Gideon Sa'ar, Naftali Bennett, Yair Lapid, and other potential candidates for Prime Minister, and Netanyahu themselves. As long as he's in the race, they have got no chance whatsoever. Regardless of what's going to be, if we are going to have a 5th and 6th cycle, this will still be the same. Because we do not have to choose between Bennett and Sa'ar and Lapid. We have to choose between Netanyahu and some other guy who has not proven to be so worthy. So as long as these are the cards that we handle, this is going to be to go over and over again.
All right, Ben-Dror, I want to turn to you. Let's talk a little bit about the Arab parties, because pretty much everybody's talking about them and how they're going to vote and whether or not that'll give us a coalition or another election. 48% of Israelis polled said that they'd be absolutely fine with a coalition based on an Arab party. Are they being naive?
No, they're not naive. There is a huge change. I mean, when we compare it even to 1 year ago only, when most of the Israelis disqualified them. Right now, most of the Israelis, for them, it's really bearable. And again, it's very interesting because we all have to thank those who think that Arabs should be part of the coalition. We have to thank Benjamin Netanyahu, because it's actually mainly because of him, because of his kind of contacts with Ram and in particular with Mansour Abbas. So actually, he paved the way to this kind of coalition. We cannot forget that Yair Lapid said just not long time ago, 3 years ago, that any coalition with the joint Arab party is impossible, and he called them the Zorbies. I guess we remember what he said. And now, yes, it is possible. It is accepted by most of the parties, except, of course, Bezalel Smotrich. So it is possible, and if Netanyahu will not resign, and he is not going to resign, yes, I mean, we cannot form a government without them.
All right, Ben-Dror Yemini, thank you so much for your time. Ziv Maor, thank you so much for coming in.